Take two! Tuesday, March 25th. This one's working correctly. There we go. One, you're going to need your iPad during best today, just to give you a heads up.
Is it a survey?
It is another survey.
Oh, yeah.
What? You guys complaining? This is a brand new... Wait, no, it's just like every minute. And then double checking if anyone has camp stuff. I sent out emails to parents yesterday. Just
It's 48.
and then we have our final myth stories this week because we wrap up Greek mythology.
What's 60?
So we are done with Greek mythology as of next Tuesday. And we begin our book on Wednesday. Yes, you can grab... Actually, no. Sit down. I'm going to show you a thing in a moment.
Perfect. Perfect cute.
Perfect cute. Nicely done. Did we have anybody who was wanting to do this for the extra points? If you can get it in 15 seconds or less, I wanted to give you the option. Melina.
I already did it, but can we do it again for more points?
You have already done it, so no, you're out of luck. You can do it again to go faster, but you don't get points for it. It's just a matter of doing it.
Oh. Then what's the point of it?
Exactly.
Just do it. You should just do it. Wait, oh yeah, I should just do it for fun.
Sure, if you want to.
Are you going to record it?
No.
Okay, good.
First period, forgot about that.
And back to here. To there. And so the two main barriers to the Underworld is what we're going to get to here today. And also to help you out, I have mythology page on my canvas. So if you go to mythology page, those of you who might not have been paying attention yesterday,
why are you looking
you
at
can
me?
find, because this is aimed at you.
Well,
That's
because
why
I wasn't here yesterday. I wasn't paying attention.
where it says Myth Blue Sheet Answers to help you. You can go on there and hit the button.
What if I go on it?
And when you do, it comes up with all the answers to help you out. So it's right there.
What?
You want to spend points to work on it during class? Absolutely. You mean I'm giving you this information so you can work on it later? Absolutely. I mean responsibility? Absolutely. So for those of you still missing a thing, it is on there to help you out. Now, let's kill a kid.
What?
Oh.
Well, I mean, for science.
I hate science.
So,
Ew, science makes me mad. She doesn't answer her emails, and that makes me mad.
Mom, I literally emailed her and she hasn't answered me back.
My mom emailed her.
About
speaking of things we don't like, how about that? So, I guess we're going to go ahead and kill Melina.
Me.
So, who else is the kid yelling at?
I volunteered.
Let's say, don't worry, we'll kill you in a moment too. We have so many kids we can get rid of in here. Let's say Melina, after getting lippy in class and yelling out loud, the English teacher finally breaks and snaps and picks up a stick and runs over and smashes over her head. And poor Melina has now died. Here's how her journey is going to work. Step one. There is a god's job. It is to take her down to the underworld once she has gone and fallen over and her soul has popped up.
Oh.
That god being Hermes. Comes by, grabs her little soul, and takes her down through the little path system throughout all of the mountains into getting down to the underworld. But it turns out he does not take Melina straight into the underworld. He takes her into this little waiting room area that's right in front of it. And he drops her off in this little waiting room, and that is where she has to go before she gets to go further. The reason she can't go further into the whole thing is there's our first barrier, which is going to be a thing stopping her from going any further into the underworld, which is a big body of water that is so poisonous and deadly, it kills anything that touches it. This is where River Styx comes in. River Styx is thought to be so poisonous and toxic and awful that even dead people touching it, it will kill them. Which I know seems confusing because you're like, but I thought she was already dead. She is, but again, Greek mythology, we can kill you again. Those of you who have played video games, you'll be familiar with this. If Melina were to go and just jump into this water and be like, I'm a swimmer, and she's going to try and get across, she would then just melt and go, and then respawn right back over here again. After going through all the pain and the screaming and the melting and stuff like that, she would get to this spot. So then, she is stuck waiting in this waiting room until eventually she can come across. To get across, there is a boatman whose job is to take you from one side to the other. His name? Charon. C-H-A-R-O-N. He is a Titan, and his job is to take you from one side down here to the other. Those of you who played Fortnite last year when they had that season, they had the River Styx, which was that green water you could jump into and like get even faster, and they had little boats on there.
Oh, don't it make you heal?
And it made you heal also. So that was going all the way back to it from there. So, in order to get across, Charon does not work for free. Melina is going to have to pay him. You're going to have to pay him 1 gold coin
While
in order
she's
to get
dead?
across. It was called a drachma, which was the Greek money during the time. Hi, Lily.
Was Charon like in when they had the whole war and everything? Which side was he on, and was he tortured?
Solid question. I'm assuming he would not have been on Cronus' side, because where did we put all those gods? Yeah, which we're going to get to in a moment, but I don't think he was a part of that. He may even be like not around during that time. He may have been a later one who was born. So Melina has to give gold coin to Charon, and what will happen is he takes his little boat across, and there you would go. But let's say Melina didn't have a gold coin when she died because it was in the classroom and she made the teacher mad, broke the stick over her head, she falls down, there's no gold coin. Now when Melina shows up, she's stuck waiting in this long waiting line to get across. And the idea was that whenever someone with a gold coin would come across, he would then have extra room and take people from the waiting list. So now, Melina with no gold coin is just stuck waiting here until eventually she gets to go across. So, to offset that, let's say young Dylan is also in class, and she's so thirsty from the chips that she was eating and the fact that her friends would not give her gum that in the middle of class she finally just dries up and goes, I can't, and falls over dead. Now poor Dylan is also dead and going to go down to the underworld. Let's say Mama Melina comes over to Mama Dylan and goes, hey, since your daughter is also going down to the underworld and I didn't get a chance to put a gold coin into my daughter's mouth, by the way, that's how you get the gold coin down, is you would have to open up little Dylan's mouth like a little clam, and you would drop it in like a little piggy bank, and then you would close the mouth. Then, when Dylan gets down to the underworld, gold coin, and she'd be good to go. Sometimes what parents would do is that Mama Melina would then take a gold coin and she would carve into it, for Melina. And they would open up Dylan's mouth, drop in Dylan's coin, and then also drop in Melina's coin, and then close up Dylan's mouth and bury her. Then, when Dylan gets down to the underworld, she can go, for Melina, and then Melina like, that's for me! And she'd get all excited, and she'd come over and go grab the gold coin. They would high-five each other. Then they could both ride across together. Sometimes families would want you to make friends in the underworld. And let's say they're worried about young Dylan not making friends down there because she keeps yelling at her friends about not giving her gum. Like, we better make sure we're as safe as possible. So they're going to open up little Dylan's mouth before burying her, and they would put like a whole handful of gold coins in there, like a piggy bank, and then close up Dylan's mouth. Then when she gets to the underworld, she looks like a slot machine. She's like, blah, 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 and just gold coins would come out all over the place. She would have her giant pile of gold coins, and then she can just make it rain, giving gold coins to other kids. So now we're traveling, going from this part, going across and coming down to the main underworld. Now we have Melina and Dylan hanging out together, holding hands and skipping, and life is fun. And we get to the second barrier of the underworld, which is a large dog, 3 heads on it, and by the name of,
I forgot.
not bad, Cerberus,
Oh yeah.
or Cerberus. I've seen it spelled both C-E-R-E and C-E-R-B-E. So Cerberus or Cerberus was the god, this giant 3-headed dog. He could only smell living things. If you were dead, there was no smelling you whatsoever. And so his whole job was to attack any living thing, whether you were human or whether you were a god. Because Charon did not care one way or the other. He was there to protect Hades from any living thing coming across. So let's say Charlotte feels bad because all this time not giving poor Dylan gum, and she's like, maybe that's the reason that poor Dylan died. I'm going to go down there and be a hero, and I'm going to go rescue young Dylan and that Melina girl in class too, because she makes me laugh sometimes. And so Charlotte takes off and she grabs her sword and she's like, I'm Charlotte the hero. And she finds out how to get down to the underworld. She has her little gold coin with her and she comes down here. She finds Charon, gets to the front of the line, throws the gold coin at Charon, stands on the front of the boat, and she's like, girls, I'm coming. And she comes across on the boat, and then Dylan and Melina look up like, it's Charlotte, she's coming to get us. And Charlotte jumps off and goes, what's up, ladies? And as soon as she jumps down, Cerberus eats and kills her. Because that's his job, is to smell living things.
And now she's dead with us.
She's dead, but not with you.
Oh.
Where's she going to be?
Back in the waiting
Boop, boop. she reappears
Yikes.
and spawns
she
back
can't use
over
her
here.
coin because she already used her coin.
Ah, so now all of a sudden, now we have Melina and Dylan over here waving to poor Charlotte, and Charlotte's like, I'm sad, I wish I had come now. Unless, as Charlotte was getting eaten, maybe she took her extra gold coin, was like, no, bad doggy, and then threw it into her mouth as she got eaten, then maybe she'd be good to go. Let's say she did, so that Charlotte can join them.
Yay!
All three of them now have passed Cerberus, and we come down to this main area of the Underworld. This place was called the Asphodel. Oh, I forgot I put that picture up. Again, Fortnite last year I took the picture. They actually had Cerberus that you could get in the game. And so there was his main head, and then he had little doggy heads next to
I
him.
like the one on the very left. Yeah, that
That
one.
was, it's so pretty,
It's
isn't it?
pink background.
I know.
I like the blue.
So then we get to this place called the Asphodel Fields. This was the main area of the Underworld. In Greek mythology, it was not like Christianity where you have good people and bad people. In Greek mythology, everyone goes down to the Underworld. Whether you're a really good kid who makes good choices in class or an annoying kid who makes poor choices in class, Greek mythology, you all go down here. There was no punishment. There was no fire. If you spent your entire life going around kicking puppies, you come down here. If you spent your entire life going around helping people and being an honor society, you still would come down to here. Asphodel Fields was just the area for dead people. And then you would see a guy sitting on a throne, his name being
Hades.
and a girl sitting next to him.
Persephone.
Persephone.
Yeah.
And so depending on what time of year it is, you would see Persephone there. And then just dead people. And you would just, it was boring. It wasn't torturous. So now that we have Melina and Dylan and Charlotte walking around down there, they're not tortured. I mean, unless it's like sitting in a boring class. You just walk around and go, look, rock. Look, ant. New rock. And that was it. And that was all of your time, just forever and ever, just walking around.
Me, Charlotte,
This
Dylan.
is all that was involved in going to the Underworld for a long time. Till eventually, Zeus comes up with an idea. And once we have the second area over here to the side, which is sort of connected to the Underworld down this passageway, called Tartarus, but it's not really connected. It was sort of this side off area. And down here is where you have all of those titans who are being tortured down there in the pit, but they're not interacting with any of these people. They're just over here doing their own thing. Well, once we have humans start doing things that really tick off Zeus. So Zeus goes and talks to Hades. He goes, hey, is there a part of the Underworld that I can use to set up personal tortures for humans I don't like?
Oh.
And Hades is like, well, I don't want to have to interact with them. He's like, I agree. So how about I use part of Tartarus as an area for me to torture people I don't like? And that's where he sets up this new area for people to be tortured.
Oh.
But humans being tortured are not because they did bad things. It's not because you went around and, again, kicking puppies does not send you to Tartarus. Being a horrible man that goes around killing everybody does not send you to Tartarus. If Zeus gets his brand new pair of Air Force Ones and you walk up to him and go, scuff, right across the front of him, you get sent to Tartarus. These were all people that personally made Zeus angry. And whenever you would do something to make him angry, he would come up with a personalized torture for you and send you down here. They're fun and they're entertaining. And that's why I gave you this, because it talks about 4 different fun little tortures, and hopefully we're going to get a chance to get them here in a moment. And so I looked them up because I've tried to find 4 of the most famous fun torture things. So then, for a long time, these are the only 2 parts. The Asphodel Fields, which is the main area, Tartarus, where we would torture people that made him mad. Then, during these wars, it turns out there were a handful of humans who would go out and do things to really impress Zeus. More so than anything else, they'd have these great warriors and fighting, and Zeus comes down and again talks to Hades and goes, hey, every once in a while when humans do something really impressive, I would like to have a really good place to put them. So they create a second area. And this place is going to be called the Elysian Fields. The Elysian Fields did not send very many people to it. The only way to get there was really impressing the gods, so much so that usually it was going to be warriors and fighters that you would do something to impress them, but you would get sent over here. The Elysian Fields, unlike Asphodel Fields, was a happy place. There was like meadows and butterflies and little bunny rabbits. It was full of happiness, and you could run around there and have just an all-around good time. But one of the biggest things about this area is if you got sent there, you got the choice to be reborn. You could choose to go back and get a new string, go through life all over. You guys know what reincarnation is? No.
Yeah.
Same thing. This was their version of
Where's my
reincarnation.
pencil?
You could get the chance to go through everything again.
Where my pencil?
But there's a drawback. If you choose to be reborn and you go through life all over again, when you die, you would come to here. You are not guaranteed to go back to this area because your second life, you may just be a random scrub. And so you would end up being in this area here. And that happened a lot. People would choose to be reborn, go through life, and then just end up here for the rest of time.
I'd rather be reborn.
But here's the reason why people attempt it. If you did get sent here a second time, and say, you're Elin the Incredible, and Elin the Incredible the first time goes through and does this amazing thing and gets sent there, and Elin's like, I'm pretty incredible, it's in my name, and she wants to be born a second time. And then Elin, called the even more incredible, goes through life, and she gets to come here again. Now she has a tough choice. If she can go through life and do it a third time and become Elin the Incredible, she does not go here on her third time. You get to go to an even better place.
Ooh.
Called
And it's even smaller.
Isle of the Blessed. Isle of the Blessed for Elin the Incredible was actually up on Mount Olympus. And Elin got to drink the nectar and ambrosia. She got to become partly along the lines of a god, and you got to hang out with all of them. The drawback is I can't find any stories of it actually happening. I can't find stories of Elin the Incredible. I can find references to it existing, references to how to get there, but I don't have any stories I can tell you about someone who actually did. They just talk about it being an option. So as far as the Underworld's concerned, this is how everything would work. Waiting room, gold coin to get across, dog killing anybody who's living, stuck down here unless you're really bad, you come over here, really good to come over here, really good, you would come down to here. And again, in Greek mythology, did not matter if you were good or bad. Everyone got sent to that same spot. Unless you were really bad. Which is, I know, like not giving your friend gum kind of bad. Straight to Tartarus. It was like the worst thing ever.
Right.
Dylan?
On here, if you need it, again, if you turn the paper over, you have that same map on the back side of your paper. So I hooked you up with this map, trying to help you out from there. If you want the color version of the map, it's again on that mythology page where it has all the stuff here to help Melina. If you come down to the one that says Tales from the Underworld, on the back side of it, color map. And so you can have color map if you want
Can you
one.
not pull my hair?
Now, what makes you think I need to do?
Who knows? Now, let's talk about the really bad things that happen. Underworld tortures to make things fun.
See this
I have little chalk drawings I did way back in the day. So there's 4 different little stories. One called the Dionysies, which are these 50 sisters who killed their husbands all in one night. Which made Zeus mad because Zeus set up the wedding. Tantalus, which is the first story we're going to get to here in a moment, about a guy who, don't want to give that away. Sisyphus, about a guy, never mind, I guess now we have to read the stories on our own.
What? Wait, what?
That's now your homework, is reading those stories
We don't have homework.
I told you this week, your only homework was reading. This would be the reading part of it.
Wait, actually?
Yes.
For real?
Not,
We have to read it tonight?
well, you have to read it by Friday, or the
Okay.
test next week.